welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley and I'm going to be doing a new moon in Gemini reading for you. I love moon in Geminis because my natal moon is in Gemini. And this new moon in Gemini is a cazimi, meaning that it is in a tight conjunction with the sun. So lots of potent energy for manifestation and really seeing those, big juicy dreams come true, right? To be taking the next step. So this is a pick a pile reading. Pile 1, cougar. Pile 2, the owl. Or pile 3, the crown. So again, pile 1's the cougar, pile 2, the owl, and pile 3, the crown. Whatever image is resonating with you. And we'll go ahead and jump into pile 1. Okay, so what can we expect this new moon in Gemini? What is coming our way? What challenges, what gifts and blessings may be upon us? Okay, pile 1, raven magic. Own your own power. So those who chose pile 1 might be feeling really empowered with this cazimi, with this new moon in Gemini. And I always encourage you to look to the part of your natal chart where Gemini lies so you can see what house, meaning what area of life this could affect. So for some of you, I'm getting the inclination that some of this, you stepping into your own power has to do with realizing how magical you are. Well, that's for all of us. But for specifically some of you, that may mean spiritual practices and rituals and actual, I'm hearing like magic making, not necessarily like witchcraft or anything like that, but if you feel called to studying or getting a mentor around your spirituality and around your gifts, okay? That's what I am getting with this card pretty strongly, okay? This pile may have also recently been seeing ravens around. You may, around this new moon, be seeing ravens physically. And of course, when we're talking about images, it can also be digitally, things like that. So even if you're not in an area that has ravens, okay? There's also this energy coming from this card of protection and the need to not just own your own power, but to protect your power, okay? There's this theme coming up with this pile of maybe in the past there's been a lot of giving your power away, okay? So, totally validating whatever reasons there may have been that you felt you needed to do that, and maybe getting the energy that for a lot of you it was really based around your safety. So, sometimes there's a lot of shame that comes with that. So reminding yourself why you've been so protective, right? And where that came from, what the root of that is, and having some self-forgiveness around that if you haven't been able to step into your own power. But it seems like there's going to be some strong energy and maybe in an event or an experience that calls on you to really stand your ground, own who you are in this moment, who you are becoming. Okay? You also got the traveler, so move in a new direction. Okay, so yeah, I'm really feeling that some of you who chose pile 1 are preparing and planning to take a trip. This new moon may see you taking a trip, traveling, I'm getting the indication that some of this may be overseas, some of it may be more local. I know we still have mandates and such going on. Possibly planning for a trip in the future, so maybe some planning around that. But really, you know, this phrase, move in a new direction, if anyone in pile 1 has been considering making a shift in any aspect of their life, and when we get into the rest of the cards, we might be able to see what aspect of life that is, you're really being encouraged, if this resonates with you, to shift. You know, it's okay to shift. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to leave behind what wasn't working, right? So, yeah, sounds like some people in this pile have a hard time possibly taking risks, or maybe just taking a risk around this specific area of your life. I'm going to kind of skip the next card I was going to pull because I want to see, okay, what area of life we're talking about. So 7th house, okay? This, you know, the 7th house rules the paternal grandfather, it rules the maternal grandmother, so could be issues, not issues, it could be the change that you see, the new direction that you're moving in could have to do with your ancestors or those specific personal relationships. But the 7th house also represents our one-on-one business interactions, clients, business partnerships, and then, of course, finally, our romantic, long-term committed partners. So husband, wife, partner, right? This area of your life is about long-term significant partners, romantic, business, and it can be family. You know, sometimes if you have a really close friendship and then maybe they're like your best friend and you also work together, that would likely be 7th house. So if you've been afraid to move in a new direction when it comes to business, and maybe feels like there's this energy of, not that this other person is holding you back, but maybe they just don't agree. Maybe they're the ones that is having a hard time with you taking this risk. And if it's a business partner, then they're likely taking the risk with you, right? You have, you know, a contract, you're working together, so any risk that you take and make, will likely affect them, right? And also personal relationships, romantic partnerships. So if you're making this shift in your life, if you're going to be moving in a new direction, it's definitely going to affect this area of your life, right? But going back to the Raven, really getting this energy here that, like, regardless of what these 7th house people think, it's important that you own your power and that you own this desire to move in a new direction if that resonates with you. And it may be bubbling up now. It may be something that you're feeling now. It could also be something that you know, will come up around this new moon. You also got Vesta home. Your household situation is improving either through a move or healthy change in the occupants. Okay, so this oracle indicates, you know, tells me that some of you, yeah, this is like a physical move, right? Owning your desire to make this change. And maybe it's somebody moving out. Maybe it's somebody new moving in, okay? Or you are looking for a new home. You have a new home that you're moving into. And it seems that, right, it'll likely affect the people who, you know, in your life that the 7th house rules, okay? So really just making sure that this move, this change, this shift, this new direction is your choice, okay? That's what I also hear coming through pretty strongly. Vesta is usually a really, really lovely card. Anytime it comes up, I feel like lovely things do happen. It could also mean, you're bringing a new child into the home, a new pet, right? So really it focuses on bright new beginnings in the home, or somebody leaving, right? Maybe a toxic roommate is leaving, or maybe recently a family member has passed away and it's really, the home environment and vibe has shifted and changed. Okay, that felt like it might be likely, so I just wanted to say that as well. Also got Pluto. Okay, so Pluto is deep transformation. Oftentimes we fear Pluto, but without Pluto, we wouldn't be able to our lives wouldn't see the deep transformation that needs to happen and needs to occur in certain areas of our life. So really feeling that this deep transformation does have to do with a change in environment, change in home, change in partnerships, business or otherwise, and really coming back to this Raven and making sure that, of course, we can't control all transformations, right? But really feeling into your body, feeling into the gut, feeling into what is right for you is really coming through strongly for this pile, okay? Owning your role as a powerful person in your home. And again, it doesn't have to be something that's done angrily or communicated. This is a new moon in Gemini, so Gemini is all about communication. So there likely maybe it's a transformation in the way that you're communicating with the people in your home. Okay? The 7th house is calling to come back strongly, and interestingly, I do ancestral chart readings, so of course the 7th house is about business partnerships and romantic, but because it does rule the paternal grandfather and the maternal grandmother, if you have either of those people in your home, or maybe you're living in their home, right? I'm feeling this energy of, making sure that it feels like your home too, right? Coming back to that whole idea of power, right? Owning your power in your role in your family. Okay? And it doesn't have to be this angry energy and this, toxic communication if that's what's going on. It can be communicated calmly and clearly that this is who you are, this is where you stand, and that's not changing. Okay? I would love to hear below. Excuse me. Excuse me. If this resonates with you. Excuse me. So if you'd like to comment below if this is resonating, or if it does after the fact, I would love to hear from you. But that's not it. We still have cards, but I just wanted to say that specifically because it felt like this whole energy of like a lineage of families, home, was coming through strongly for this pile. Okay? Maybe you're selling the family home. Maybe there's some disagreement with your partner, right? About what to do with it. Something like that, okay? Also got Giraffe, foresight. You are able to see what is in store in the future. So I'm really getting this energy with this card that a lot of you know what I'm talking about as I've been saying it. And you're the type of person who kind of sees everything 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And maybe sometimes you annoy people with that because they think that you're just planning, like, oh, you're just planning for things to go wrong. You're just seeing the negative. But really, actually, like, you have the ability of foresight. But what I'm getting is that, like, not that you don't have to share this, but there are certain ways that you can share this without being like the downer, right? The one who's like, oh, well, actually, this isn't going to work out, and I'm just gonna, you know, poo-poo all these plans. There are ways that you can, you know, subtly own your power, own your choice, stand your ground about what you want to do with these insights that you are getting. I feel like there's some, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. I feel like there is some clair in this pile. So clairaudience, clairvoyance. I feel like it's clairsentience and clairvoyance. So the ability to just feel what is going to happen and also see. So tapping into that magic, tapping into those gifts, and using it to communicate things in a way where this foresight that you're getting, let me see. You know, you're able to use it to your advantage while also not bringing down everybody else. Because sometimes when we have the foresight to see things and we, you know, go to our people, go to the group, go to our partner, whoever, and say, hey, this isn't going to work out, and they're not as tapped in as we are, it's just hard. It's hard to understand that. Okay, so I'm trying to find a way to say this, but and not in a manipulative way, but there are ways that you can still move forward with your foresight into the future while still allowing things to play out as they're going to play out and the universe's plans to unfold the way, however they're going to unfold. Okay, so that's what's coming through. New moon in Gemini. The dreamer, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Okay, so definitely with this pile, it feels like, yeah, some unexpected opportunities. New moon in Gemini is really great time for not just manifestation. I hate to always just say manifestation, but really putting into action some of these steps that are leading to your big dream, right? And I'm hearing for this pile, it's like unexpected opportunities and big dreams around home life is what really feels like it's coming up repetitively, right? We also got Vesta, so feels very strong coming through. 9 of Water, your wishes come true, concerns fade away, a love of life. Love it. Okay, so water is a very emotional card and can often have to do, it compares with cups in the tarot, and you know, often has to do with our emotions, but also our relationships. So it seems like you owning your power, stepping into your own, and you know, there's this idea of really standing your ground, but not in an angry way, in a confident, secure, like, hey, this is what I need, this is what I know about myself, and it's not that I'm not adaptable, it's just, you know, I have to have these boundaries around these things. It seems like this shift, this transformation that's happening around your communication in your home, you know, it feels like it's going to be taken well, right? It seems like there was some concern for you around standing your ground. But, you know, things don't always have to end. You standing your ground and standing up for yourself doesn't always have to end in a fight. It can end well. It can end... I think there's this fear, like, you don't want to stand your ground, and let me know if that's right. Maybe it resonates with you or not, because you're afraid of how the other person's going to take it. And sometimes we have to disappoint. Sometimes we have to let people down. And I'm feeling like there may be a little letdown, but then there's going to be this period of like, okay, well, this is what you need. I feel like, you know, the wishes come true and concerns fade away is, to me, is like this concern that you've had over the ability to communicate these very powerful things with those in your home, possibly also a business partner, you're going to see possibly that it's not as scary as you thought it was, okay? To express yourself, to stand in your power with them. Holding your ground, standing your power, speaking your truth doesn't always end up in torment and everybody breaking off and breaking away and leaving. If it does, then what I'm hearing is, understanding that those weren't your right people to begin with, right? But it doesn't always have to end that way. If it does end that way, it doesn't mean that you speaking your truth and standing in your power was wrong, okay? It means that the people around you likely weren't the right people to hold your truth. Okay, pile number 1. Whew, I feel like that is all. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you. Like, comment, subscribe if you care to, and happy new moon in Gemini. Okay, pile 2, the owl, pile 2. Let's see what's in store for you. Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. Okay. So what really feels strongly with this card, again, this is a new moon in Gemini, sun in Gemini, so a lot of communication shifts. So I'm feeling like this pile 2 is usually the one who's always dispersing the information, helping other people. I'm feeling like this pile also plays the in-between for family members, friends, maybe people at work. And what I see with this new moon in Gemini, or the call is for you here, is to, be open to healing information. Be open to being the one who receives. Okay? Being open to the fact that other people may have something to offer you too. There feels like there's this big expert energy coming through, and you are an expert and you have so much to share, and that's wonderful. But this may be a period of absorbing, of listening, of being open to what others have to share, because there may be some real gems. Okay, I'm also feeling like this is really centered around actual spiritual and physical healing. And I feel like with this new moon in Gemini, pile 2, you may get like a light bulb moment around what direction to go into with a certain aspect of healing. So if you've been doing trauma healing, spiritual healing, mother wound, father wound, whatever kind of healing, I feel like it's spiritual healing, trauma, but also physical and health-wise. I think it feels like around this new moon, if you haven't already gotten it, you will, like a mentor is going to show up, or something, not something that's going to fix everything, okay? Because it's not one thing usually that fixes everything, but maybe you've never heard of facial acupuncture before, right? And then, if you haven't, then maybe I'm the one bringing it to you, right? Maybe this is the sign you're getting. But it's something like that. And it could even be really subtle. So really keeping your ears, your heart, and your mind open. I also see, Gemini rules hands. I see this pile mixing, creating potions, medicines. But again, this is from new information. So if you're like, I'm not into doing that, I think that could possibly be the shift that occurs for you, is that you are. I was trying to like really tap into the imagery, and yeah, I can't really get a specific, in a personal reading I could get more specific, but in general, sometimes it can be really all over the place. I do see paints. I do see gardening and dirt too. So not just, but planting for the purpose of healing, planting herbs for the purpose of turning into, you know, not like potions, witchy potions, like real, not that witchy potions aren't real, I don't know. But you know, like not just essential oils, but tonics. That's kind of what was wanting to come out, I guess. Maybe not even that exact word, but I don't know why I just keep hearing oils and seeing oils and oils. Also seeing and hearing Ayurveda, so yeah, just it feels like it's gonna be something that like really comes maybe even out of the blue and completely shifts your perspective and starts you on a whole new path of discovery and creation, okay? Because Gemini does rule the hands. Let's see what else you have here. So you have Unag, easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So I feel like this pile moves really fast. And it's interesting because I think that's part of the reason, like the imagery I was getting here was everything was going really fast and kind of all over the place. And this kind of solidifies that for me. And Gemini is fast. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury's all over the place. I would know, Moon Gemini. And I can go really fast sometimes. Talk fast, move fast. And it can be really annoying to hear to slow down, right? I kind of want to see what we're slowing down on, or no, they're telling me not to look at the other cards yet, or I'm hearing not to look at the other cards. So I feel like in this pile there's been a lot of comparison going on. There may be some late bloomers, and I don't even like to say that, like late bloomer. I don't think there is late blooming. Like, we're now predicted, right, hopefully, to live to we're like 120. So technically 40 is the new 20, right? So I don't like to say late bloomers, but compared to society's expectations, okay, it feels like the people in this pile maybe didn't know what they really truly love to do until later in life, or until after society expect them to, and there feels like there's been this rush to make money, to succeed, to move forward, maybe even to get married, to be the medicine guardian. I'm hearing that, you know, not if, but I'll say what I'm hearing, but I don't like to say ifs like this. If you can let go, if you can close your eyes for a moment, say, universe, okay, I'm putting the rest in your hands. I've done enough. I trust that this is coming. And what is this? Whatever, again, it's not very clear. Whatever it is that you're creating with your hands. And that could be, that could be so much, right? And maybe we'll get into it with the rest of the cards more specifically. But oftentimes it's when we can let go, release our control over a situation. I'm seeing like hands, again, Gemini rules the hands, like there's like a tight hold that you have on something, and sometimes only when we can begin to release that hold do we start to see transformation. Okay, let's see what else you have here. Dove, serenity, oh my god, slow down, pause, and breathe. So really, pile two, really, you guys and gals and everything under the sun, all of you, yeah, okay, when two cards come up like this, easy does it. I feel like you've been going hard, going fast, taking on a lot, And that's your energy. And I'm really getting the energy like that this pile doesn't want to hear to slow down or to pause and breathe and be serene. But this is part of it. Being slow, going slow, taking time to pause, to breathe, maybe even doing some breath work. Like, this is all really part of success. It's important, I'm hearing, that you see that this downtime is part of your success too. Okay? Deleting the apps, putting your phone away, whatever it takes, whatever you need to do to bring yourself to that serene place, I'm hearing is like important. Okay. All right, so 10th house. So 10th house tells me coming up, 10th house rules our public image and career. I feel like a lot of this vastness and movement has been career focused. Okay, maybe you've been putting yourself out there a lot. Maybe if you are a guitarist, you've been putting out like tons of videos of yourself playing guitar on TikTok, and you're like, why do I not have enough followers? Why? Like, why isn't my public image getting the recognition it needs? Really remembering that this is part of it. Rest is part of success. Slowing down, pausing, and breathing is part of success. And I love that I said playing the guitar, because again, hands, Gemini. So I do see that this new moon in Gemini will bring some, changes, advancement to your career and or public image, right? You also got 3rd house, which Gemini rules. So, so for some in this pile, your career and public image may have to do with 3rd house things, local neighborhood, siblings or cousins. Maybe you're going to start a business with your brother, something like that. And or seeing shifts in how you communicate who you are in business, and shifts in how you communicate to those you do business with is what I see. Okay. Okay, so I just kind of let the cards come out when I was picking these piles, so they're same amount of cards, but from a variety of different decks. Okay, so also got Shapeshifter, Transform, and Unveil Your Gifts. Yes. So if you've been kind of holding back, if there's been a shift, a change, something that you want to unveil, I know it's Mercury retrograde, but who cares? Do it, right? You are being asked to show this other side of yourself. Okay, there are 2 sides to you. This is so great. Gemini is, right, the lovers. Gemini is, often people will say two-faced. They're not two-faced, the Gemini moon says. We're not two-faced, we're two-sided. We have 2 sides. It also makes us really like adaptable and really able to hold completely different viewpoints and opinions, which I feel I've only recently gotten into, but I really have myself settled into that space. But going back to this pile specifically, it's like, yeah, I feel like there's I like the imagery of doing this. Right? Look, it's like this is what everybody's seeing, and I'm almost getting like the energy of like everybody's seeing your tough side, everybody's seeing your busy side, everybody's seeing your protective side, your hardworking side, your, all of that. But there's this other softer side to you, magical, mystical, medicine guardian. And maybe that's the shift that's happening with this pile, is that you're moving from a role of having to really be in your masculine a lot and shifting to the feminine, right? Or maybe it's the other way. Maybe everybody sees this really loving, slow, calm side of you. And it's time to show the stronger, riskier protector. Okay? And masculine, feminine. It's not that feminine isn't risky or strong, and it's not that masculine isn't gentle. That's just not their, strongest characteristics, right? So I do feel like it's kind of more like this, that more of the people in this pile are more this vibe and this energy, and you're being asked to move into not who you truly are, because this is who you are too. Remember, Gemini has two sides, and you don't have to be Gemini for this to resonate, because we're talking about Gemini moon, Ximi, also sun in Gemini, so lots of Gemini energy. And there really is two sides to all of us, or many sides. So feeling like the confidence to show that other side, and 10th house is public image. So this really may see you physically showing a new side to, like, possibly, I don't know, your social media followers, right? Or it could be showing your side to your local community, showing your true side to your extended family. Third house can kind of rule extended family, so like cousins, sometimes like aunts and uncles, depends on who you ask. And it sounds like there's some yard work being done, so it's gonna get loud, so I will try to talk louder. Okay. You still have a couple more cards. Let's see. Okay, you also got Uranus, okay? Your potential for sudden change, enlightenment, and awakening. So there could be some change coming your way when it comes to 10th house things, career, public image. And I'm also seeing, I'm feeling with Uranus, because Uranus is really innovative. It rules Aquarius, the 11th house, right? So you may be having lots of new ideas about who this new public you is going to be, okay? And it may be like a sudden idea, a sudden burst of energy or light, physically entering your body and your brain and kind of being like, whoa, this is the thing, or like the insight, right? That is going to help me move into this space. But remember, it needs to be nourished. It needs to be balanced. Uranus energy can be kind of all over the place, right? Maybe a little bit similar to Mercury in that way. So really balancing, I almost said feeding, balancing that more active kind of all over the place energy with whatever you need to be calm and serene. And that could be breath work, okay? I'm seeing massage, I'm seeing baths, I'm seeing lots of downtime, because there's still this really fast energy with this pile. It's like you're always going to be fast, you're always going to be moving, you're always kind of all over the place and energetic, and that's great. Don't quell that, don't stifle that. Balance it with the serene, okay? You've got one more card, the moon, Archangel Haniel, important psychic insights. This is incredible. This is the exact energy I was getting, like a whoosh, download. Psychic download was what that lightning felt like, okay? Events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. So sometimes the moon can mean like a secret being revealed. But I think like with this pile and this energy, it feels like more like, okay, that insight, like that unexpected insight that's coming to you could be about something that happened behind your back or that you didn't know about. But it feels more like, okay, this is new information I need to move forward. Okay. Feels really good, pile 2. I mean, all of the piles, I'm sure, have wonderful things to look forward to. We did see that pile 1 did, and I feel like you do too. Pile 2, yeah, it really feels like some flash of insight and or some sudden change that will bring you insight into how to best move forward. Yeah, I was gonna not say that, into showing this side of yourself. And maybe this side of yourself that you're not showing is the medicine guardian. Okay, it really does feel like not a quieter, softer side of you, but like a more mystical side of you. And it almost feels like with the 10th house coming back, it's in here somewhere. It feels like with the 10th house that it's like, yeah, maybe you've been holding back or hiding what it is you truly want to do. And it's been covered with something else. And it doesn't even have to be that big. Like maybe you're a lawyer. You went to law school, you have a law practice, or you work for a law firm, and you're doing well and you make lots of money, but that is only one side of you, right? There's the lawyer, but maybe you want to make bracelets and jewelry. Maybe your true passion is to make jewelry. Okay, so feels like, I mean, of course, it's not going to be the same for everybody. That's just an example, but it feels like that's the energy. So this pile could really see a shift from what I thought I was supposed to do and be in life to who I really want to be and who I really am. I mean, or the other part of me, because maybe you do want to keep working as a lawyer. You can do both. And I feel like this pile wants to do both, and that's okay. But you're not just this person. You're this person too. And look how different they are. The eyes are different colors, right? The nose is different. The head is different. So embracing and allowing those opposing sides of yourself, opposing energies, and you might really get like a sudden event or sudden psychic insight that really pushes you to embrace all sides of yourself. Okay, pile 2. That feels complete. Oof, I gotta stretch. Okay, pile 3, the crown, pile 3. Let's see what this new moon in Gemini has in store for you. When of your true love, the romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So, of course, without looking at any of the other cards in the pile just yet, the first thing was that, yes, some of you who chose this pile may see some new love interests or some shifts happening in your love life, but also, what I felt even stronger was like the reemergence of self-love. That feels more potent. It doesn't mean that the other things won't happen. And I get lots of downloads when I'm doing these more, when I'm doing these readings for the collective, right? Because it involves more than one person. Okay, so really like this reemergence of self-love, of falling in love with the self. And even with this card, like adorning yourself. You may desire to make yourself and your surroundings more beautiful. Buy yourself flowers, put flowers in your home. You may be getting flowers on or around the new moon in Gemini from a new love interest, from someone that you have been in a romantic relationship with for a long time, partnership. Maybe you are celebrating an anniversary, or maybe you just got out of a relationship. Again, going back to that, and there's this reemergence of self-love. There's this, I'm gonna take time for myself and adorn myself with all the lovely, beautiful things that I deserve, because I deserve this whether or not I'm in a relationship. It's the energy I'm getting, okay? So I do see possibly like new jewelry, an occasion to dress up for, an event to dress up for, or no event, just the event being that you love yourself and you want to adorn yourself. Okay, so that feels strong. You also got squirrel. Preparation, get ready for big changes. This is so cute. My nephew got an award in school today and it had a squirrel on it, and it was for gathering all of the kids who needed a friend. And I just thought, and you know, making sure that they weren't alone. He got an award for bringing people together, basically. And I thought it was so cute that it was, you know, the squirrel gathers its nuts and acorns. So, yeah, I just thought that was cute. And it's interesting to see it again. And I also picked this pile. So, so yeah. What does the squirrel do? Prepares, gathers, gets ready for winter, gets ready for big changes. So if you don't know what those big changes are, which sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, right? What can we do? Preparation for this pile, I'm getting kind of similar energy that I did to pile 2, like there's been a lot going on, you've been doing a lot, and so really like going back to the basics: food, water, sleep. Okay, so making sure you have enough of all of that to prepare for what is to come. Okay, let's see if we can see what area of life. Okay, interesting. So the 11th house rules, it's Aquarius and Uranus ruled, and the 11th house really rules over our like big, wild dreams, okay? Also humanitarian efforts, friendships, also rules social media, and groups of friends. So those are some areas of life that you may see big changes coming. I want to pull out also, you got Neptune, your fantasies, yearnings, longings for potential, for illusion. So with the Neptune, I'm really feeling like, and it could be any of the things that I said that have to do with the 11th house, but it's feeling pretty strong, at least for some of you, that these big changes are about your deepest fantasies, desires, goals, and dreams. It feels like they're really gonna get like kicked up here. They're gonna get a boost somehow, okay? And I mean, this, yeah, it feels like really beautiful. It feels like childhood dreams coming true. You know, 11th house are those things that maybe sometimes even seem too far out of reach, okay? So it also feels like there may be this need for this pile to do some unlearning, some shedding, because we get a lot of messaging, and you know, whether or not people mean to do this or not, adults mean to do this a lot. We get a lot of negative messaging on and limitations on what it is we can actually do. And we do it to each other, and I do it to my partner does it to me, and you know, we don't mean to. It's just comes from this root teaching, right? This base way of being that limits. And why? Why do we have to limit? So I'm also feeling like this new moon in Gemini may see like a re-emergence of just dreaming for you. You may begin to feel like it's okay to have the dreams that you have again. And it certainly is, right? So there's this energy of, if you've lost it, or if someone else has kind of like always talked down about it or poo-pooed it, you'll never be able to write a bestseller. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much, you know, commitment that requires? You're not committed enough, and whatever. Throwing that out the window, silencing those voices, whether or not they're your own or somebody else's, it feels like is going to be a big part of this new moon for you. Okay? Yes. So winter, you also got take care of your needs. Okay? This is perfect, right? So when we want our big dreams, like, how can I, okay, this is how this wants to be said. So, and it's kind of not how I would say something because it's a little too straightforward, but that's okay. So we say we have these big dreams and we want these things and we have these goals, okay? But are we really making space in our life for them? If that book deal came to you right now, would you be ready for it? And what do I mean? Getting ready, preparation. Part of this preparation is taking care of your basic needs, okay? Do you even have a place to write this bestseller? Do you have someone to babysit, a few times a week so that you can write it? Whatever it is. Is your laptop broken? So it's like sometimes we want to call these things in, and it's like the things that are blocking us sometimes are the things that we are refusing to change or that we're not making space for. So going back to that example of writing it and selling a bestseller, right? You want that. Well, do you have the space and time to do it? Do you have like the physical, actual electronic to do it, the computer to do it, right? Is your mental health and wellness, like, one of my biggest things was I always have had these big dreams and plans, and it's like great, and I would just suffer. Why isn't it moving forward? My addiction played a huge role, which is really, really interesting because a challenging aspected Neptune in your natal birth chart can indicate wanting to escape, and often people will escape with substances, right? So here I was having these big dreams, right? Big dreams are great. Neptune's like fantasies and dreams, 11th house fantasies and big dreams. But I was using, I was getting high every day. I was getting drunk every day. And that in a way tells the universe like that I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. I don't have everything I need. Now I'm not saying, and this is why I wanted to put that little, I wanted to say that it wasn't really me necessarily saying that, because I don't think I would say it just like that, but that was the message coming through. And it doesn't mean that you can't write a bestseller, getting high every day or drunk or whatever. And that's fine, if it works for you. It wasn't working for me, okay? And if you're hearing this, it might, your thing may not be addiction. It may be because Neptune came up. And maybe not addiction, but some of you may just be too lost in the actual fantasy of these dreams without the practical steps. And how can you take the practical steps to these dreams? Preparing, taking care of your needs, making your bed, brushing your teeth, right? When we do these simple basic things, we invite in so much bigger, juicier, more beautiful things. Does that make sense? Let me know below. So yeah, taking care of these basic needs, right? Do you want to be a photographer? You've applied to all these jobs, or maybe you're like what do you call it? Like a contracted photographer, you work on your own and you applied to photograph this big event, and you really, really want to get it, but you don't have the camera equipment. Prepare. So take those examples that I said and, use it to your own. You want to grow this big, luscious garden to feed your community, but you don't have a hoe or a shovel, right? So taking these small steps is going to lead to the fulfillment of these bigger, more, massive, beautiful dreams and goals that you have every right to accomplish, and that certainly have the potential to come true. Okay? Just get ready. Get ready. Okay, you got a couple more, few more. Bold, Freya, unleash your adventurous side, take risks, and be daring. So a little bit like the similar kind of energy to the second pile, in that, you know, you may be holding back on these dreams, or maybe you're stuck in the fantasy phase of these dreams, of not seeing them through, right? And again, fulfilling these basic needs, these basic things can be something to help you move forward, okay? It might be a risk for you to follow these dreams, especially if you're still in a place of, you know, your mindset exists the way that everybody else told you life should be and that things were. You couldn't have these big dreams, okay? Really being asked with this new moon in Gemini to unleash your adventurous side, but unleash the side of you that has the energy and the vibe and the confidence to follow these dreams and to really take steps to make them a reality, okay? They are focused. They are staring back at you, focused and ready. And she is sounding the call. You are being called. You are being called on to live out these deep, passionate dreams. They don't exist for no reason. And I also feel like this pile like goes back and forth. Like they get an inclination about like where to live or where to be or what to do, and then damper it maybe. Like, well, I don't get why. You don't have to understand why. Doesn't matter why these big dreams and goals are your big dreams and goals. Doesn't matter why. They just are. Okay? We also got Queen of Air, independent, experienced, realistic, and witty, objective decision-making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing humor in a situation. Yeah, okay. You know, going back to this idea of taking care of your needs and getting ready for big changes requires some clearing. Going back to that idea of, you know, the universe does its role. The universe does its part for you. When you're doing your part, and when you're actively making space for better things. What is beneath you that's still in your life? And it doesn't have to be this, get it out of my life, right? It's just beneath who you are now. It's past you. What stuff? Maybe it's physical stuff, maybe it is people, maybe it's mentalities. I'm really feeling like it's mentality here. Okay. Who am I to dream these big dreams? Oh, you know, I have to do A, B, and C to be able to do that. Only that kind of person can dream big, you know. Only someone who went to college can do what I'm hoping to do and I didn't go. Okay? Excuse me. So it could be a mindset, right? Around, like, that you have created or that was created for you around what is possible for you. So clearing that away, okay? And reminding yourself, really anything is possible. Anything is possible. That's 11th house, right? You also got Ace of Water, which is really funny because I was wondering if this True Love Guinevere was going to come back in at any time. So water is related to cups in the tarot and has to do with our emotions and sometimes our romantic relationships. So falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, just kind of like I said before, spiritual growth, enhanced intuition, a new home. Okay? So New moon in Gemini, similar to what I was saying at the beginning for pile 3, might see you, the sparks being reignited in a relationship, someone new coming in, and it doesn't have to be serious, dating, flirting, sending you flowers, right? Whatever level of relationship you want and feels good to you. Feels like is possible. And of course, it's not like an overnight thing. I mean, if you believe in that, then it could be like a love at first sight overnight thing. But, you know, we do have the corresponding full moon in 6 months, so check back again in 6 months to see like how this romantic relationship evolved, right? So it could be the resurgence of a relationship. So maybe you felt like your romantic relationship was feeling like a little flat, you're not feeling connected. With this new moon in Gemini, they might like surprise you with flowers or a poem or something that reignites that spark, right? I do also feel, I kind of felt like with all the piles that some kind of flash of intuition may come, and it may not be like a flash, that was kind of more pile 2, but an understanding that comes to you, an insight that comes to you, and certainly for this pile around the new moon in Gemini, enhanced intuition about how to move forward, about what to do with these big dreams, okay? And maybe the big dream is love. That can be a big dream and a goal too, right? And I'm feeling like with this, whatever, you know, resurgence of someone new or old relationship or new relationship coming in, there seems to be some spiritual connection involved. Past life connections, soulmate connection. And remember, soulmate doesn't always mean you're supposed to be with them forever. We can have soulmates that come in and out, but it seems like there's a purpose. So someone is coming in with a purpose, a specific purpose in your life. And then also, I can't skip past the new home. That feels like if it hasn't, it feels like it's been something that's on the mind of the people in this pile. And it may come, you may be moving at the new moon in Gemini, or just thinking about it. Okay, so some shift in your environment and your community feels likely. Okay, that feels complete. Pile 3, happy new moon in Gemini. I would love if you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this resonated with you, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.